Steph Curry talking about who the greatest point guard ever is. And I mean, when you see something like that, what kind of emotions do you experience?
Listen, I love Steph Curry and his family. So I think he's right to be on any conversation of the best of.
Yeah.
But, we all know who's one and who's two. And no, I'm not, no, I'm just saying. He said it right. He's got a little while longer.
Who is the greatest point guard of all time? For decades, basketball purists have placed Magic Johnson on an untouchable pedestal, a man who transformed the point guard position. Yet today, there is a challenger, Stephen Curry, a sharpshooter who redefined the game in ways no one could have anticipated. This debate isn't just about accolades or stats. It's about two men who changed basketball forever. One brought Showtime to the league. The other made the three-point shot the centerpiece of modern basketball. Buckle up, because we're diving into a showdown of impact, style, legacy, and influence that may change how you see greatness itself. Steph Curry talks about the 5 greatest NBA players.
Best 5-man NBA roster.
Current?
All time.
Of all time? Shaq at the center, Tim Duncan at the power forward, Bron at the 3, MJ at the 2, me at the 1.
It's tough to argue with. That's a squad.
Impact is the cornerstone of greatness. When Magic Johnson entered the league in 1979, the NBA was in desperate need of a hero. Ratings were down, the game lacked glamour, and fans were disconnecting. Magic became that hero. His arrival signaled a new era, with the Showtime Lakers capturing the world's imagination. Magic didn't just elevate his team, he elevated the league itself. By leading the Lakers to 5 championships and becoming a 3-time MVP, he turned basketball into an art form, full of dazzling passes and fast-pacing action. The league thrived under his leadership, attracting more fans than ever before. Fast forward to the 2010s, and the league once again saw a revolutionary figure emerge, Stephen Curry. Curry's impact wasn't about saving the league, it was about reinventing it. He took the three-point shot, once seen as a specialty weapon, and made it the most dominant force in basketball. From the playground to the pros, every team and every player began chasing Curry's blueprint. The numbers don't lie. Teams now average over 35 three-point attempts per game, compared to just 18 in 2011, when Curry was rising to stardom. His influence is evident every time a player pulls up from 30 feet out, attempting to emulate the greatest shooter the game has ever seen. Stephen A. says Curry is the greatest shooter of all time.
Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
But impact alone isn't enough to define these legends. Let's examine their contrasting styles of play that captivated audiences for decades. Magic Johnson was basketball's maestro, orchestrating the Lakers' offense with unmatched precision. At 6'9", he was a mismatch for anyone guarding him. His court vision was unparalleled, allowing him to execute no-look passes and thread the needle between defenders. Magic didn't just leave the fast break, he was the fast break. His ability to push the ball up the court and create scoring opportunities defined the Showtime Lakers. Watching Magic play was like witnessing a magician turn defense into instant offense. On the other hand, Stephen Curry's style thrives on chaos. He may not have Magic's size or physicality, but he leverages his quickness, agility, and most importantly, his shooting range to stretch defenses to their breaking point. Curry's off-ball movement is relentless, defenders can't rest for a second. Even when he's not shooting, his presence alone creates opportunities for his teammates, pulling defenders out of position. His ability to hit contested shots from beyond 30 feet has forced teams to rethink defensive strategies entirely. Curry doesn't just play the game, he redefines its boundaries. Mad Dog says no one runs the break better than Magic Johnson.
One other thing. Running a fast break, it's not even discussable. There's nobody, and I watched this since 1960s, nobody ran a fast break in the NBA at that position better than him.
As we marvel at these contrasting styles, let's move on to the achievements that solidify their legacies. Magic Johnson's career is a masterclass in sustained excellence. 5 NBA championships, 3 league MVPs, and 10 finals appearances in just 13 seasons. These numbers speak for themselves. In the 1980 NBA Finals, Magic delivered one of the greatest performances in history as a rookie, filling it in center and scoring 42 points to lead the Lakers to a title. It's no exaggeration to say Magic built a dynasty that would define the 1980s. Stephen Curry's accolades may not match Magic's in sheer volume, but the way he achieved them is no less impressive. 4 NBA championships, 2 MVP awards, including the NBA's only unanimous MVP, and countless records for three-point shooting. Curry's 2022 Finals performance against the Boston Celtics silenced critics who doubted his ability to lead without a super team. His journey wasn't one of inheriting a dynasty. It was about building one from scratch. Steph and Snoop Dogg discuss if Curry is the greatest of all time.
I mean, he's the babyface assassin. He gets nothing but love from everybody else. What is he missing? What is he missing that you feel he deserves?
He may be the greatest point guard of all time. And Magic Johnson is my guy.
Magic Johnson is your guy.
I said he may be.
While achievements shape legacies, no legend escapes criticism. Let's explore what the skeptics have to say. No player is without their detractors. For Magic Johnson, critics often point to the advantages he had. Teammates like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and a Lakers franchise with resources unmatched by most. They argue that Magic walked into a ready-made contender and simply reaped the rewards of an already elite team. For Stephen Curry, the criticisms are different. Some claim he's a system player, benefiting from Golden State's revolutionary style of play. Others argue he lacks physical dominance, unlike players such as Shaquille O'Neal or even Magic himself. But let's not forget, greatness is about maximizing your unique abilities, and Curry has done that better than anyone. When legends like Shaq and Kobe Bryant openly praise Curry, it's clear that these criticisms hold little weight. Shaq even admitted that Curry ranks above himself on the all-time list, an extraordinary acknowledgement from one of basketball's greatest egos. Stephen A. calls Curry an extraordinary marksman.
When you talk the true definition of what a point guard is, which is a facilitator, facilitating the abilities for others around you to score. What I'm thinking about is the modern day game and the word impact. And I'm thinking about Steph Curry's extraordinary marksmanship and his movement without the basketball and how it forces a defense to have their head on a swivel. And as a result, it facilitates others like Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole when he was there to do what Worthy, Byron Scott, and others were able to do statistically for the Los Angeles Lakers while Magic Johnson was a point guard.
But all debates ultimately circle back to one question. Who is the GOAT? The greatest of all time? It's a title that transcends numbers and highlights. Magic Johnson's case rests on his dominance in an era filled with physicality and superstar rivalries. Larry Bird's Celtics, Isaiah Thomas's Bad Boys, and the rising force of Michael Jordan's Bulls. Magic's 5 championships are proof of his ability to not just win, but to lead against the best of the best. His skill set was so versatile that even in the face of relentless defense, he elevated the Showtime Lakers to near-perpetual dominance in the 80s. For Stephen Curry, the argument is less about sheer physicality and more about revolutionizing the game itself. No player has had such a profound impact on the way basketball is played today. No wonder Michael Jordan placed Curry just behind Magic in the point guard hierarchy. sparking debates about who truly defines the role. Mad Dog says Magic created a dynasty.
And I love Curry. And we all know he's a wonderful shooter, but he is not Magic Johnson. Sorry. He's not in the same discussion. That is blasphemy to put him in Magic Johnson's category. Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson, you could argue, is a top 3-4 player in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Greatness doesn't end when the final buzzer sounds. Both Magic Johnson and Stephen Curry have left an indelible mark off the court. For Magic, his post-playing career is a masterclass in leadership and resilience. After his HIV diagnosis in 1991, Magic became a global advocate for health awareness, shattering stigmas and using his platform to educate millions. His entrepreneurial success is equally impressive, with business ventures ranging from movie theaters to owning professional sports teams. Magic's influence extends far beyond basketball, making him a cultural icon. Stephen Curry's off-court legacy is still unfolding, but it's already profound. Through his Under Armour partnership and the launch of his own Curry brand, he's empowering young athletes with access to resources and training. Curry's philanthropy, including significant contributions to education and community development, shows his commitment to making a difference beyond the game. His leadership extends to his own team, as he's widely regarded as a player who fosters camaraderie and elevates those around him, not just with his skills, but with his humility and work ethic.
When it comes to Magic, this is the only problem I have when we're talking about the greatest, right? Where's the factor in that he came into a dynasty, right? The team went to the Western Conference Final 2 years straight. 2 years straight, which means this is a good team. They add him, win a championship, right? His legacy is already above everyone because he already got put onto a dynasty team, right? Out of his first 10 years, he went to the finals 8 times, won 5 championships, right? In that same time frame, he was the #1 pick, won a championship. The reason they didn't win it the second time because he was hurt. He comes back healthy, championship, right? Then they lost, and then they get James Worthy, the #1 pick. The team was so good, James Worthy didn't even start the first year, right? He didn't even, the number one pick didn't even start. That's how good this team was, right? So you're inherited this greatness.
Both men have proven that their greatness isn't confined to the court. Now, let's return to the question at hand: who truly defines the title of the GOAT? At its core, the debate between Magic Johnson and Stephen Curry is a battle of eras, styles, and definitions of greatness. Magic represents the traditional point guard, a leader who dominates through vision, size, and the ability to elevate teammates. Curry embodies the modern game, a hybrid scorer and facilitator who stretches the boundaries of what's possible on the court. The truth is, greatness isn't one size fits all. Magic's 5 rings and revolutionary impact on the Lakers and the NBA make him a legend who will forever define the golden age of basketball. Meanwhile, Curry's 4 rings, unprecedented shooting ability, and cultural impact have created a legacy that is still unfolding.
When it comes to Magic, you're talking about a guy who is a one of one, right? It's not a traditional person. So you're trying to put a guy, it's like Joker. You're trying to put a guy who's just a basketball player in this position to identify with it, right? Magic was a small forward shooting guard coming into the NBA. His first 4 years, he was the shooting guard. Norm Nixon was the point guard, right? When they moved Norm, they gave the ball to Magic because it was better played by a guy at that size, right? So he was your small forward who guarded the small forward but had the ball in his hand. And because he did what he did, like Joker does, they called him the point guard, right? That's where point forward comes in from.
Thank you.
So if we want to use, and I always did this to people, just with him. If you're going to use Magic as the best point, I'm going to use LeBron.
Exactly.
Now LeBron's the #1 point guard. Then you can be like, oh, LeBron in the point. Well, he led his team in assists every year.
Every year,
in the season. So he has to be the best point guard of all time, right? So if you're going to play with Magic, because LeBron was 2.0 of Magic Johnson. Coming into the NBA, he was Magic Johnson with Jordan-like jumping ability.
Absolutely.
That was the frame. So you can't now take him out of it because he's done surpassed all of these stats, right? So if you're going to try to use Magic as the point guard, then you have to throw LeBron as the best point guard ever, but you're not going to do that.
Magic Johnson and Stephen Curry, two men, two eras, two revolutions. Magic brought finesse, leadership, and a flair for the dramatic to the 80s, redefining what it meant to be a point guard. Curry brought innovation, range, and an unrivaled ability to stretch defenses to the modern game, changing basketball forever. The debate over who is the greatest point guard of all time may never have a definitive answer. But one thing is certain: Magic and Curry have both cemented themselves as GOATs in their own unique ways. They are, and always will be, icons of the sport we love. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Who's your pick for the greatest point guard of all time? Let us know in the comments below.